The College of Charleston is a public liberal arts and sciences university located in historic Charleston, South Carolina. Students use the city as their classroom, working closely with professors on research and performing alongside them in venues throughout the city.
Spoleto Festival USA, America's premier performing arts festival, provides unlimited opportunities for students in all aspects of the arts.
You can live the life at the College of Charleston. Hi, my name is Celeste Riddle. I'm a theater major here at the College of Charleston, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Hi, I'm Chi Hung Si, and I'm a piano major from Singapore.
We're here in the Emmett Robinson Theater. We're here to tell you all about the opportunities at the School of the Arts at the College of Charleston. I myself have been in 7 shows that includes performing, designing, and painting.
And I have been playing all over the world, including Italy, Chicago, Singapore, Hawaii, and all over Charleston, together with my piano duo that I formed since I came here. Now let's meet 2 other students and find out about their experiences at the School of the Arts.
I've played cello since I was 9 years old. I love playing that. I love learning about that. Didn't want to give it up when I graduated high school, but I didn't know how I would be able to foster my interest in chemistry as well as pursue that until I made the decision to come here. And my teachers thought it was a really good idea for me to do both. Oh, I get crazy looks. I've always gotten crazy looks from day one. And I knew that was going to happen, but you learn to live with it. Being a cellist has prepared me to, I think, present anything in any field, no matter what I was pursuing. Being able to sit in front of an audience and play a song or multiple songs or put on a concert is definitely applicable in any kind of presentation you do in life. College is what you make of it, but it's really what you're willing to do, whether you're willing to get to know your teachers, whether you're willing to put in the time. Just having that one-on-one time with your teachers that is allowed at the College of Charleston, I think, is just very beneficial. The College of Charleston did give me that opportunity that I probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere else.
I started playing music when I was 13. I remember the power I felt when I picked up the guitar. When I went to college, still decided I wanted to do that for a living. I wanted to do music and performing as a career. Stayed in Boston for a little bit at Berklee College of Music, and I decided to come back here and study. When I was thinking about coming back to Charleston, I took into account the amount of high caliber professors we have here at the music department. I found in Charleston it's a lot more accessible to go out and see your professors play. And when you do, you can go and talk to them, you can learn. And through that process I found I actually met other musicians, and being able to network with them, everybody's supportive of everybody else. If you're looking to really grow as a musician and to have teachers there that are going to be supporting you and pushing you in your limits 24/7, and to be able to, go out and see them play, I would say to come here and to experience that, because it's a very, very special thing that I haven't found anywhere else.
Brian is right. Being able to watch and learn from your professors is such a great experience. And that's why you should get to know them and take advantage of their expertise.
Professor Jeanette Gwynn designed a class to record a radio show during Spoleto Festival USA. Here's a look at the class and Professor Gwynn.
I took the Media and Arts at the Spoleto Festival Mainmaster course, and what we did was learn the in and outs to produce a radio show.
It's a really fun course. It gives you an idea of what it's like to work for a radio station.
We learned about the interview process as well as audio recording, editing, and then also the pre-production and production process that go into creating the Spoleto Today radio show for ETV.
One of the cool things that I really liked about the class was how Jeanette, our professor, didn't give us assignments. We were given a list of tasks that we had to complete, all of us, and then we would just figure out who needed to do the tasks and how we could delegate that. So it was just a really good way to learn how to work together in an office environment.
The production process that you have to go through to have a radio broadcast, we learned every step of it.
I'd never used sound engineering or recording equipment before. By the end of a week, we were actually recording people by ourselves, entire interviews that ended up going on the radio, and then we heard our credits on the radio too, which was really fun.
It's a good class to narrow down some of the ideas of what you want to do after graduating, so it's a good eye-opener.
It's kind of weird to think about the transition from college to actually working, but in the arts management program it seems like it's really seamless.
I think that it's important to understand that when you study any art discipline, visual art, music, dance, theater, whatever, that there are skills there that are transferable to other parts of life. There are skills where you learn discipline, where you learn working with other people, you learn problem solving, and all of those things relate to all the other things we're trying to do, and it can be helpful no matter what you want to do. I made a decision to follow something that I love, that I adore, that I was willing to invest my life in. And there's been a lot of joy in doing exactly what I enjoy doing. When I went off to college, the really hard thing for me to decide was whether I wanted to major in music or theater or literature. And I ended up majoring in music, and I thought I would be a musician for the rest of my life. Along the way, I began presenting performances with the student union on campus. And I found my real bliss there. I found that I loved nothing more than the sound of the chain on the grand drape right before a show began when the curtain was going up. And I just loved connecting the audience to the artists. And for me, there was such joy in that, I decided to look and pursue that more. I ended up getting a master's in media arts and went to work for the South Carolina Arts Commission, working with performing artists all over the state. So I would book artists into schools and arrange their performances. Then I had a job where I was doing special projects, so I organized conferences and did special meetings. I also was communication director for a while, and ended my career there as the director of performing arts. So I advised artists, I worked with arts organizations all over the state, tried to get artists working and helping organizations find funding and build audiences.
This is the South Carolina Arts Commission's Arts Daily. The College of Charleston presents a free sneak preview of Spoleto USA.
Arts Daily is a series of segments that runs on ETV radio. It started because I asked the person who was the director of radio if I could do it.
The Newberry Opera House hosts a rock and roll reunion.
I write them, engineer them, and voice them, and I'm hoping that we'll make people hear something that's exciting, that they'll try something they've never tried before, or find out about something that they really wanted to know about and would have missed out otherwise. I also love that it keeps me connected to the presenters and performers all over the state.
For the College of Charleston, I'm Jeanette Gwynn.
see as much art, do as much art as you possibly can, meet people. It's all about the connections. Volunteer. I'm a really strong advocate of internships. I'm glad that in our arts management program we require internships of every student. If you're good, an internship gives you a chance to prove that, and people will remember you. And when they're looking for somebody, they'll come back to you.
As Professor Gwynn said, there are so many different options for careers in the arts. Why don't we check back in with one of our visual arts alumni who's really well known. His name is Brian Rutenberg, who's based out of New York City.
Paint is delicious. You know, it's sticky, goopy, luminous grit, as a poet friend of mine calls it. It's a big lie. Picasso said, a lie that tells the truth. I started drawing probably in about first grade. I consciously remember sitting down and spending a lot of time drawing, and I was lucky to have parents who were supportive of that, who recognized my interest and devotion to that and sort of stayed out of the way. I love essentially everything. I think a painter has to love everything and be interested in everything. And what was great about the college is it offered me everything within this environment, in this beautiful city, within this setting along the coast of South Carolina. I could spend time painting in my studio, then I could attend class, then I could walk down the street to the Dock Street Theater and listen to a lute concerto, or go hear jazz, or drive out to Magnolia Plantation. So it nurtured all the things that feed into my work. Many, many artists over history have had great moments of clarity of thinking during walking, and that's what I love about New York City. It's a great walking city. I love island life, so Charleston gave me that, and then I needed another island, so Manhattan was the choice. What I loved about the College of Charleston is that it's a small school which affords you great access to your faculty. And the great thing is they were there for me when I needed them, and then when I didn't need them, they knew to step out of the way and just kind of let me go, rudderless, through these things. And the faculty I had the privilege of working with at the college in the Fine Arts Department are still some of the most important people I've ever come across, and are dear, dear friends who I rely on and who really gave me that permission I needed at that early age to create a vision and to really embark in what I'm doing. I never heard the word no. The answer was always yes at the Fine Arts Department. And the art department was beautiful to me because I played drums then, I painted, I worked in theater, I designed sets for Robert Ivy Ballet. I mean, I could do everything within the confines of that one building. So it was complete open doors for me. It was like a big buffet line. Anything I wanted, I could pick and choose from. It was everything I needed. It couldn't have been better. I had a flawless experience.
Most careers in the arts start with actually creating art. Let's listen to how Professor Karen Chandler went from playing the piano to chronicling Charleston's jazz history.
I was always, as a young child, interested not only in playing the piano, but also very fascinated with getting ready for the recital. I kind of backed into arts management. I performed on the stage as a musician and enjoyed it, but an arts manager is behind the stage. We are not wanting to be out front, and we are not needing to be out front. We are the support infrastructure for the arts. But it's always so cool to be able to, you know, sit back and say, this is what I did. This is what an arts manager does. And to me, it's just magic when the curtain comes up and you're like, I did that. Arts managers are multifaceted, but who also love doing a gazillion things at one time. We want students to be able to know, you know, practical things, how boards of directors help to run and govern an organization, staffing, how one budgets. We want them to be able to develop a website. We want them to be able to develop a Facebook page and to know how to promote. At the same time, we want them to be able to figure out this complex maze of finding resources and funding. And so the entrepreneurial spirit is much a part of what we teach.
So what's really interesting about this picture?
So the Charleston Jazz Initiative is a jazz history and research project. When we started in March of 2003, we were interested in uncovering this untold history of musicians that trained at the Jenkins Orphanage and with the Jenkins Orphanage Band. We wanted the centerpiece of this effort to be the oral histories. We've got significant collections of music and recordings and music manuscripts and photographs. We've done a number of exhibitions. We have engaged artists, filmmakers. There was a great short called The Song of Pumpkin Brown. We just released our first CD called Legends. It's very important that we have arts managers who understand the art form to come to college with having experience as a practicing artist in an art form, but also as one who has been involved in some arts activity or event of their school.
One of our true treasures at the College of Charleston is the Halsey Institute of Contemporary Art.
The Halsey Institute has won countless awards and hosts internationally known artists like Motoi Yamamoto, who you'll see in just a little bit. But first, let's hear from curator Mark Sloan.
The act of curating is a creative act. It's a creative process, very much like creating artwork. So I'm very interested in that relationship between the individual works that make up an exhibition and then the aggregate statement that those works come up with. I have sort of an unusual trajectory. My undergraduate degree was in psychology and philosophy, and then I went to graduate school to study photography. I got a Master of Fine Arts degree in fine art photography. I put that degree to good use by remaining in the arts, but I actually made a living by curating shows. Started as an intern and then worked my way up to the exhibitions installations manager for 9 galleries within one building. I was not curating the shows, I was just installing them and running crews of interns and volunteers who would hang them. So it was a big job. And then I was given the opportunity to curate my first show, and that's when all the lights went off. I just loved the idea of putting an exhibition together on some sort of thematic topic and working with artists and collaborating with them to create something that was greater than the sum of its parts. When I saw what happened between and among the works of art that were selected for the show, the conversations that happened between the artworks really was exciting to me, and that is what ignited my desire to want to be a curator. Curators really do need to have a fairly broad knowledge of whatever their topic is, in my case contemporary art. So one needs to keep current with current magazines, and in this day and age blogs, websites. One needs to travel to visit exhibitions and see how other people are doing things. My favorite part of being a curator is the meeting artists and working with artists and thinking about what would be appropriate for my audience here in Charleston. So I absolutely love that. A typical day for me is hard to describe, which is one of the things I love about the job. To give you a sense of the universe of things that I have to deal with in a day, grant writing is a big part of it. A lot of my time is spent looking for dollars. We do publications, so a fair amount of what I do is writing, reading, researching. I also do a lot of editing. I work with the graphic designer very directly. I work with printers. We oversee all of our productions. I also produce videos, so sometimes I have to travel to exotic lands such as Japan to interview the artists. I work with a variety of filmmakers and also musicians to create soundtracks. One needs to have a broad knowledge of the world and events in the world. But I think specifically for high school students who are interested in the arts, attend a lot of art events, go to museums, go to galleries, commercial galleries as well as nonprofits, look at a lot of work, talk to artists, find out what makes them tick.
Japanese artist Motoi Yamamoto is something of a magician. Although he does not utilize sleight of hand, he creates installations that encourage the mind to travel between astonishment and wonder. His medium is salt, yet the effect of his labors is transcendence. He uses salt to create mental maps, miniatures of the mind. Yet in his case, he doesn't seem to choose material merely for the sake of novelty or originality. Yamamoto's artistic trajectory is full of innovations and surprises. His ability to adapt his concepts to the various configurations and idiosyncrasies of the galleries and exhibition spaces that have displayed his work serves as a source of inspiration.
最近こういうレースのようなちっちゃな泡のようなそういう作品を作っている理由っていうのは、迷宮という作品を長く作ってたんですけど、その迷宮と同じ意味を持つ形をずっと探していて、それが渦巻きだっていうことが分かったからなんです。
Motoi Yamamoto is known for working with salt, often in the form of temporary, intricate, large-scale installations. Salt is a traditional symbol for purification and mourning in Japanese culture. Motoi forged a connection to the elements while mourning the death of his sister at 24 from brain cancer and began to create art out of salt in an effort to preserve his memories of her. His art radiates an intense beauty and tranquility, but also conveys something ineffable, yet endless. Motoi views his installations as exercises that are at once futile, yet necessary to his healing.
$20枚とか20枚ぐらいかな。だけどでもある程度はこんな感じにしよう、例えば渦の形がこういう風な動きにしようとかっていうのを大体決めてから、そのコンピューターの中で画像を重ねていって具体的な形をある程度決めて、でまたそこから手書きのスケッチに置き換える。でもやっぱり手で描くのって極めて重要で、例えばこの鉛筆のっていうのはですね、その渦の形を、そうだな、一番チャレンジングなこと、それからやっぱりそのプラットフォームが素晴らしくいいところにあるじゃない。だからビューポイントが2箇所あるってことなんだよね。だから手前と上と両方から見た時にいい形に見せなきゃいけないので、その両側から自分が見せたい形にできるかどうかっていうこともチャレンジングといえばそうかもしれない。いや、1箇所ってこともないけれど、明らかに今回は2箇所だもんね。こことここって感じで、だからそこで一番ベストな理由にできるように。 下からの目線だけだとやっぱりちょっとその魅力が十分伝わらないんだよね。それは今までの経験上その上からの視点を持てる会場、例えば2006年にやった図書館での展示もそうだけど、もう明らかに人々が楽しめてるっていうことが分かるわけ、すごく楽しそうに見てくれてるから。
An important aspect of the installation is the dismantling of Motoy's work. At the end of each show, the salt is delivered back to the water, usually in collaboration with the public, hence the title, Return to the Sea.
ほとんどと言っていいぐらいそういう気持ちがなくなった。ゼロ、全くないって言ったら嘘になると思うけど、でも極めて少なくなった。でそれは壊してる時のみんなの顔がすごく楽しそうだしさ。
Motoy recognizes that salt is a vital part of many living things. Each grain of salt contains its own history and trajectory. Something so seemingly common becomes a metaphor for the evanescence and transcendence of human life. Motoy's art might most productively be compared to the intricate sand mandalas created by Tibetan Buddhist monks. In both cases, the work is destroyed at the end of a predetermined interval and returned to a body of water, thus enacting the circularity and ephemerality of life. Both are used to induce meditation and to assess the deeper reaches of human consciousness.
It has been great learning about all the different careers in the arts, whether you choose to be a curator like Mark Sloan or an arts manager like Professor Chandler. The opportunities are endless.
And there's always something going on at the School of the Arts. In fact, we just added a new dance major, so make sure to check back in with us as you decide about your future.